Hey Libra, welcome back to the channel. I just pulled some cards for you, and honestly, I need to sit down and share this with you because what came through is really something special. You know how sometimes you just feel like you are working so hard, but the financial breakthrough keeps feeling just out of reach? Well, the universe has some really interesting insights about what is coming for you and why you specifically are positioned to become the wealthiest person in your family circle. Not in an arrogant way, but in a genuine abundance that is going to surprise everyone, including yourself. So I shuffled the deck with your energy in mind, asking Spirit to show me what is happening with your financial future and why this message about becoming the richest in your family keeps coming through so strongly. The cards that appeared are incredibly specific, and they tell a story that I think is going to resonate deeply with where you are right now in your life. Let me walk you through what Spirit wants you to know. The first card that came out is the King of Cups, and I have to tell you, this card appearing in the first position for a financial reading is really powerful. The King of Cups is not typically the card people associate with massive wealth, but here is what makes this so profound for you, Libra. This card is showing me that your path to becoming the richest in your family is not going to come from ruthless business tactics or stepping on people to get ahead. Your wealth is going to come from emotional intelligence and the ability to navigate relationships with incredible wisdom and maturity. What I am seeing here is that you have spent years, maybe even decades, developing a level of emotional mastery that most people never achieve. You understand people on a level that is almost intuitive. You can walk into a room and sense the emotional undercurrents. You know how to make people feel heard and valued. You have probably been told you are a good listener, or that people trust you with their deepest concerns. The King of Cups is telling me that these qualities, which you might have even dismissed as just being nice or empathetic, are actually your greatest financial assets. The energy here suggests that your wealth is going to come through ventures that involve people care professions or situations where emotional intelligence is the key differentiator. I am seeing scenarios where you might be working in consulting, therapy, coaching, human resources, or any field where understanding human nature is crucial. But here is what is really interesting. The King of Cups suggests you are not just going to be good at these things. You are going to be exceptional. You are going to reach a level of mastery where people seek you out specifically because of your unique ability to blend compassion with practical wisdom. What makes this even more powerful for your financial future is that the King of Cups represents someone who has learned to set healthy boundaries while still being caring. You are not going to get rich by being a doormat or by letting people take advantage of your kindness. Instead, you are developing or have already developed this beautiful balance where you can be incredibly giving and supportive while also knowing your worth and charging accordingly for your expertise and time. I am also getting that some of you watching this might be in a position where you are helping family members or friends with their emotional or practical problems, and you are doing it for free or for very little compensation. The King of Cups is suggesting that this is about to shift. You are going to start recognizing that your wisdom and guidance have tremendous value, and you are going to begin positioning yourself in ways where this value is properly compensated. This might feel uncomfortable at first because Libras often struggle with the idea of charging money for helping people. But the universe is showing me that this mindset shift is essential for your financial breakthrough. The King of Cups also suggests mastery over your own emotions regarding money. You are learning or about to learn how to have a healthy, mature relationship with wealth. Not worshiping it, but not fearing it either. Not hoarding it, but not being reckless with it. This emotional maturity around finances is going to be one of the key reasons you surpass other family members financially, because while they might be driven by fear, greed, or ego, you are going to be driven by wisdom and genuine value creation. Now, the second card is the Two of Swords. And this is really interesting because it is showing me there is a decision you have been avoiding or a choice you have been putting off that is directly connected to your financial breakthrough. The Two of Swords always represents that moment where we are standing at a crossroads, blindfolded, trying to decide which path to take. The figure in this card is holding two swords in perfect balance, which resonates so much with your Libra energy, because you are always seeking balance and weighing options. What Spirit is telling me through this card is that you know what decision needs to be made. Deep down, you already know. But you have been stuck in analysis paralysis. You have been so concerned with making the perfect choice or not upsetting anyone or maintaining peace that you have actually been blocking your own financial flow. The Two of Swords is saying that your journey to becoming the wealthiest in your family requires you to make a choice that you have been avoiding. For some of you, this decision might be about leaving a stable but limiting job. You might be in a position right now where you have security and a steady paycheck, but you know this path has a ceiling. You can see exactly how much you will be making in 5 years or 10 years. And, it is not going to lead to the kind of wealth that would make you the richest in your family. But the fear of leaving that security has kept you frozen. The Two of Swords is appearing to tell you that remaining in this state of indecision is actually more costly than making the leap. For others, this decision might be about a business partnership or a collaborative venture. Maybe someone has approached you with an opportunity and you have been weighing the pros and cons for so long that the opportunity might be slipping away. Or maybe you are in a current partnership where you know, deep down, it is not serving your highest good financially, but you have been avoiding the confrontation or the discomfort of making a change. What is really interesting about the Two of Swords in this position is that it is suggesting the decision you need to make is not actually as risky as you think it is. You have been building up this choice in your mind as this huge, terrifying thing, but when you finally remove the blindfold and look at it clearly, you are going to realize you actually have more information and more support than you thought. The swords are balanced, which means both options might have merit, but staying in the middle holding both swords indefinitely is exhausting and unproductive. The energy I am picking up is that this decision needs to be made soon, not in a panic way, but in a this has been pending long enough kind of way. The universe is gently pushing you to choose a direction, because once you do, the energy can start flowing again. Right now you are like a river that has been dammed up. All this potential and abundance is being held back by your indecision. When you finally choose and commit to a path, you are going to be amazed at how quickly things start moving. I am also getting that part of what makes this decision difficult is that you are worried about how it will affect your relationships, especially family relationships. You might be concerned that choosing your own financial success will somehow hurt or disappoint people you care about. The Two of Swords is reminding you that you cannot sacrifice your own prosperity to keep others comfortable. Part of becoming the richest in your family means being willing to outgrow old dynamics and old expectations even when it feels uncomfortable. The third card is the Three of Swords. And okay, I know this card can look scary with the 3 swords piercing the heart, but hear me out. Because in the context of your financial breakthrough, this card is actually bringing an important message. The Three of Swords is about heartbreak, disappointment, and pain, but it is also about truth and clarity that comes through difficulty. What Spirit is showing me is that on your path to becoming the wealthiest in your family, there has been or will be some heartbreak specifically related to money and family dynamics. For many of you watching this, I am getting that you have already experienced this heartbreak. Maybe you lent money to a family member who never paid you back. Maybe you invested in a family business that failed. Maybe you were promised an inheritance or financial support that never materialized. Maybe you watched as financial resources were distributed unfairly within your family and you were overlooked or undervalued. The Three of Swords is acknowledging that this hurt was real and the disappointment was valid. But here is why this card is actually positive in this reading. The Three of Swords represents a necessary disillusionment. It shows you the truth about situations you might have been seeing through rose-colored glasses. What I am picking up is that whatever financial heartbreak or disappointment you experienced related to family actually freed you in a profound way. It forced you to stop depending on others for your financial security. It pushed you to develop your own resources and your own strategies. It made you realize you cannot wait for others to recognize your value or to share their wealth with you. You have to create your own. This painful clarity is actually one of the main reasons you are going to become the richest in your family. While other family members might still be entangled in codependent financial relationships or waiting for windfalls that may never come, you have been forced by circumstance to become financially independent and self-reliant. That heartbreak, as painful as it was, gave you a gift. It gave you the motivation and the clarity to build your own empire. I am also seeing that the Three of Swords might represent ongoing grief about financial situations in your family. Maybe you come from a background where there was never enough money or where financial stress was constant. Maybe you watched your parents struggle or sacrifice and it broke your heart. Maybe you have siblings or relatives who are struggling financially right now and it pains you that you cannot help them more. The Three of Swords acknowledges this grief, while also showing you that you carrying guilt or sorrow about family finances is not serving anyone. What is really powerful is that I am getting this message that your future wealth is going to allow you to help your family in ways you cannot right now. But first you have to release the guilt and the grief. You have to stop letting past disappointments or current limitations define your financial future. The Three of Swords is a card of release. It is asking you to acknowledge the pain, but then to let it go. To forgive whoever needs to be forgiven, including yourself. To grieve what was lost, but then to turn your face toward what is coming. The energy here is also suggesting that becoming the richest in your family might bring up some complicated emotions. There might be jealousy or resentment from family members. There might be people who suddenly want to be close to you or who expect you to solve their financial problems. The Three of Swords is preparing you for this reality. It is reminding you that you cannot control how others react to your success, but you can control your boundaries and your responses. You can be generous without being depleted. You can be loving without being manipulated. Now we are moving into the fourth card, and this is the Queen of Pentacles. Oh, Libra! When I pulled this card, I actually got chills, because this is the energy of the wealthy matriarch or patriarch. This is someone who has not just accumulated wealth, but who knows how to manage it, nurture it, and grow it. The Queen of Pentacles is incredibly grounded, practical, and resourceful. She represents financial security that comes from smart decisions, consistent effort, and a deep understanding of material world matters. What I am seeing here is that you are stepping into Queen of Pentacles energy, or you already embody it, and this is a major key to why you are going to become the richest in your family. The Queen of Pentacles is not flashy. She does not buy things to impress others. She invests wisely. She builds assets. She creates systems that generate ongoing income. She is generous but never foolish with her resources. She has this beautiful blend of abundance mindset and practical wisdom. The energy coming through suggests that you are developing or have already developed a really sophisticated understanding of how wealth actually works. Not just how to make money, but how to keep it and multiply it. You are learning about investments, property assets, passive income streams. You are educating yourself about financial matters in a way that many of your family members never have. While others might be focused on just earning a paycheck, you are thinking about building wealth that lasts and grows over time. What is really beautiful about the Queen of Pentacles is that she represents someone who finds joy in creating comfort and security, not just for herself, but for others. I am seeing that your motivation for becoming wealthy is not purely selfish. You genuinely want to create a life where you and your loved ones feel safe and cared for. You want to be able to be generous. You want to create experiences and opportunities for people you care about. This pure-hearted motivation actually attracts more abundance because you are not coming from lack or greed, but from genuine desire to nurture and provide. The Queen of Pentacles also suggests that you have or are developing multiple streams of income. You are not putting all your eggs in one basket. You might have a main career or business, but you are also exploring side ventures, investments, or other ways to build wealth. You are being smart and strategic. You are thinking long-term. This is exactly the kind of approach that leads to becoming the wealthiest person in your family. Because while others might be living paycheck to paycheck, or making impulsive financial decisions, you are building a solid foundation. I am also getting that the Queen of Pentacles represents a connection to the physical world and to practical skills. For some of you, your wealth might come from something tangible. real estate, agriculture, food, hospitality, beauty, wellness, or other industries that deal with physical comfort and sensory experience. You might have a talent for creating beautiful spaces or products that people genuinely want and are willing to pay for. Your aesthetic sense as a Libra, combined with the practical business acumen of the Queen of Pentacles, is a powerful combination. The Queen of Pentacles is also telling me that you are someone people trust with resources. You have proven yourself to be responsible, reliable, and wise with money. This reputation is going to open doors for you. People might invest in your ideas or businesses because they trust your judgment. You might be given opportunities to manage or steward significant resources because others recognize your capability. This trust you have earned through consistent, wise action is going to be a major factor in your financial growth. The fifth card is the Two of Swords. Again, wait. No, let me double check my notes here. Actually, the fifth card is the Six of Cups. And this is such a sweet card, but in the context of your financial reading, it has some really specific meanings. The Six of Cups traditionally represents nostalgia, childhood memories, innocence, and sometimes gifts or support from the past. What I am seeing here is that something from your past is actually going to play a role in your financial breakthrough. For some of you, this might be literal. There might be an actual inheritance or gift coming from an older family member or from someone from your past, but I do not want you to focus too much on that possibility, because for most of you, the message is more subtle and more interesting. The Six of Cups is suggesting that skills, talents, or connections from your earlier life are going to become financially valuable in ways you might not expect. What do I mean by this? Maybe you had a hobby or interest as a child that you kind of forgot about or set aside to pursue more practical things. The Six of Cups is saying that revisiting that early passion could actually become a source of income or could inform a business venture. Or maybe you have knowledge or experience from growing up in a particular environment or culture that gives you unique insights or access to opportunities that others do not have. I am also getting that the Six of Cups can represent reconnecting with old friends or acquaintances who are going to be instrumental in your financial growth. Someone from your past might reach out, or you might reach out to them, and this reconnection is going to lead to opportunities, collaborations, or support that helps you financially. The universe works in mysterious ways, and sometimes people from chapters we thought were closed come back into our story for important reasons. There is also this beautiful energy with the Six of Cups about innocence and pure intentions. What I am seeing is that part of why you are going to be successful financially is because you have maintained a certain purity of heart. Despite whatever challenges or disappointments you have faced, you have not become cynical or jaded. You still believe in goodness and fairness. You still want to create value and help people. This genuine, authentic energy is magnetic, and it draws the right opportunities and people to you. The Six of Cups can also represent healing family wounds or reconciling family dynamics. As you become more financially successful, there might be opportunities to heal old hurts or to bring family members together in new ways. Your wealth might allow you to be a unifying force to create experiences or to offer support that helps repair what was broken. This is not about buying love or approval, but about having resources to facilitate healing and connection. I am getting a really strong message that for some of you, your financial breakthrough is actually going to honor someone from your past. Maybe a grandparent or parent who struggled financially or who had dreams they never got to fulfill. Your success is going to feel like a completion of something they started or a fulfillment of hopes they had for future generations. There is this beautiful ancestral blessing energy around your wealth. It is like your ancestors are cheering you on and supporting you from the other side because they want this lineage of struggle to end with you and transform into a lineage of abundance. All right, Libra, we have reached the final card, and this is the Five of Swords. Now, this is an interesting card to end on because the Five of Swords traditionally represents conflict, defeat, or hollow victories. But in the context of everything we have discussed, I am getting a very specific message about what this means for your financial journey to becoming the richest in your family. The Five of Swords is warning you about the cost of success and preparing you for the reality that not everyone is going to celebrate your financial breakthrough. In fact, some people might feel threatened by it. Some family members might react with jealousy or competitiveness. There might be people who try to diminish your accomplishments or who create drama around your success. The Five of Swords is telling you this in advance so you can be prepared mentally and emotionally. What I am seeing is that you need to be very careful about engaging in conflict over your financial success. There might be people who try to bait you into arguments or who challenge you about your choices or your wealth. The Five of Swords is advising you to choose your battles wisely. Some conflicts are simply not worth your energy. Some people are going to think what they think, and no amount of explaining or defending is going to change their minds. Your job is not to convince everyone that you deserve your success. Your job is to stay focused on continuing to build and grow while maintaining your integrity. The Five of Swords can also represent a time when you have to make tough decisions that might not make you popular. On your way to becoming the wealthiest in your family, you might have to say no to requests for money. You might have to set boundaries with people who want to take advantage of your generosity. You might have to walk away from situations or relationships that are draining your resources. These decisions might lead to conflict, and some people might paint you as selfish or changed. The Five of Swords is telling you to stay strong in your boundaries, even when it is hard. There is also this energy of strategic thinking with the Five of Swords. This is not a card that advocates for being ruthless or cruel, but it does advocate for being smart and not naive. As you accumulate wealth, you need to be wise about who you trust with information about your finances. You need to protect yourself legally and financially. You need to be aware that unfortunately, money can bring out the worst in people, including people you love. This does not mean you become paranoid or closed off, but it means you operate with wisdom and discernment. I am also getting that the Five of Swords might represent a victory that feels bittersweet. You might achieve the financial success you have been working toward, but realize that some relationships have changed or some people have fallen away. This is a natural part of growth and evolution. Not everyone who started the journey with you is meant to finish it with you. The Five of Swords is acknowledging that this reality might hurt, but it is also necessary. You cannot dim your light or limit your success to make others comfortable. What is powerful, though, is that the Five of Swords appearing after all these other cards suggests that you have the wisdom and maturity to handle whatever conflicts or challenges come with your financial success. You have the emotional intelligence from the King of Cups. You have made the necessary decisions shown in the Two of Swords. You have learned from the heartbreak of the Three of Swords. You have the practical wisdom of the Queen of Pentacles. You have the pure-hearted intentions of the Six of Cups. All of these qualities are going to help you navigate the challenges represented by the Five of Swords with grace and strength. So Libra, to bring this all together, what the cards are showing me is that you are on a very real path to becoming the richest person in your family. And this is not happening by accident or by luck. This is happening because of who you are becoming and the qualities you are developing. Your emotional intelligence, your willingness to make hard decisions, your ability to learn from pain, your practical wisdom, your pure intentions, and your strength in the face of conflict are all combining to create the conditions for extraordinary financial success. The universe is supporting you in this journey, but you have to keep doing your part. You have to keep growing and learning. You have to keep making brave choices, even when they are uncomfortable. You have to keep setting boundaries even when people push back. You have to keep building and investing and planning for the long term. You have to keep your heart open and your intentions pure, even as you develop the wisdom to protect yourself and your resources. I really hope this reading resonated with you and gave you some clarity and encouragement about what is coming. If you are feeling this energy, please leave a comment and let me know which card spoke to you the most. I love hearing your stories and experiences. And if you are new here, please subscribe because I post regular readings for all the signs, and I would love to have you as part of this community. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next reading. Sending you so much love and abundance, Libra. You have got this.